KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Matson and the Adai Tano program. Harley-Davidson of Guam. Visit our new showroom, now located on Route 8 in Mighty. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Ahead on primetime, first responders rushed to a reported drowning in Tumon just before the lunch hour. Plus, the AG's office puts out a warning after multiple calls of a social security scam going around. And free at last, a turtle rescued from poachers makes a return back into the ocean. Hafa and good evening. Well, a death investigation is underway tonight. Police investigating a stabbing in Jigo. Multiple police units and officers were at the scene near Smith Bridge along Route 15 and back road to Anderson this afternoon. Officers were apparently looking for the suspected weapon. Criminal investigators have yet to release details about the victim or whether or not they have a suspect in custody. Police say the case is developing. An alarming scene down in Tumon midday today. Security guards at the Hilton rushed to perform CPR on a male tourist involved in an apparent drowning at the beach. It was an emotional time for everyone on scene. Our camera crew capturing the intense moments just before medics showed up to take the victim to the Guam Memorial Hospital. The head of security telling us, "I was just hoping that he would survive." The man was unresponsive when medics put him into the ambulance. His identity has not yet been released. Guam police also called to the scene to investigate. No word yet on his condition. A scam alert is issued out of the Attorney General's office. Multiple reports of Social Security Administration scam recently surfacing. The caller claiming to work with Social Security and threatening arrest or legal action if the consumer doesn't call a provided phone number. You are being told to hang up because this is a scam. Also, don't provide any personal information. It's important to note that Social Security employees will never threaten you for information. Remember to be cautious of 1-800 numbers. If you get a call, report it to the AG's Consumer Protection Division. The number is 475-3324, extension 3244 or 3210. A 27-year-old man is accused of inappropriately touching a 7-year-old girl multiple times. David Ben Gogui Cruz is charged with first-degree and second-degree criminal sexual conduct, each with a special allegation of vulnerable victim. Court documents state the victim cried to her mother, about the alleged incidents. The most recent incident she alleged occurred just before Christmas. He claimed the little girl seduced him. The suspect was taken into custody, and documents state authorities are investigating the suspect for possibly molesting another girl. As Catholic Church bankruptcy proceedings move forward, 2 new complaints are filed in the District Court of Guam. The victims claiming damages for child sex abuse and negligence against the Roman Catholic Archbishop of Agana, Boy Scouts of America Aloha Council Chamorro District, and Father Louis Brouillard. The victims, only identified as DUM and CJ, separately claim they were sexually abused by Brouillard when they were young boys. More than 200 claims have since been filed on Guam against the church. The 2 suspects arrested this week for separate deadly car crashes appeared in court for a magistrate's hearing. Austin Rabone is charged with vehicular homicide, vehicular negligence, and imprudent driving. He's accused of hitting and killing a pedestrian crossing Marine Corps Drive in Jigo last November. As for the suspect in this year's deadly airport road crash, Charity Alex, she's charged with vehicular homicide, vehicular negligence, and imprudent driving. She's accused of encroaching into the oncoming lane before hitting another car. The elderly man in that car died days later from his injuries. Court documents state she told police she had been up extra early to drop a friend to work and attend Bible study. She was on her way home when she apparently blacked out. The next thing she recalled, waking up in the hospital. She told investigators she was just really tired before she fell asleep. Constituents aren't the only ones who can't get a hold of Congressman Mike St. Nicholas. One senator says she hasn't heard from St. Nicholas either, but she's getting an earful from his constituents, and they're wondering where in the world is Mike. Chris Barnett has more.
No congressional district office on Guam until March, and those seeking congressional assistance will just have to deal with it. Reacting to our exclusive story last night, Legislative, Federal, and Foreign Affairs Chair Senator Regine Bisco-Lee sends a letter to Congressman Mike St. Nicholas. Lee saying she's been getting calls from constituents looking for their congressman.
I know that I'm not the only office that's receiving calls. There's a couple of other senators who've also asked for my help in that regard as the chair for Federal and Foreign Affairs. So it's an issue that we're really trying to work closely with the congressman on. and make sure that our constituents are able to reach him.
It's true. Both Democrat and Republican senators tell KUAM News their phones are ringing off the hook, and while the calls are to senators' offices, the callers are desperately seeking San Nicolas. Grieving families needing to travel on almost expired passports, veterans, Manomku asking about war claims, anxious cockfighters, and concerns about the H-2B crisis. All of these constituent concerns. While San Nicolas says security protocol requirements are delaying the opening of his district office, Senator Lee is offering him a temporary space at the legislature. And since San Nicolas has been on Guam all week, we asked Senator Lee if she's heard from our congressman.
So, no.
And what about the security and communications protocols? Lee, a former staffer for Congresswoman Madeline Berdallo, so we asked her if it really takes 3 months to meet those specifics.
Change, but in my experience, no.
A congressional management guide for the 116th Congress advises congresspersons that preparations for opening a district office should begin in November. So why didn't San Nicolas work harder to open his office? Why isn't he holding a town meeting to make himself or his staff available to constituents? Why didn't he rent Berdallo's old office as a stopgap measure? Why can't we contact his district director on Guam? We think these are valid questions, and we sent them to the congressman, and he left us on red with no response. Lee says if meeting requirements are the reason for the district office delay, San Nicolas should still work harder to be accessible to his constituents.
I get that, but that being said, we're still elected officials, and we still have to respond to the people that we serve.
And what about San Nicolas's assertion that he can't open a temporary office because of security concerns? Well, that's not what the Congressional Management Guide suggests. The guide says Congress should be creative and use, quote, part-time offices and mobile offices as alternatives to traditional district offices. That being said, Senator Lee says if security is an issue, the legislature is here to help.
We will do whatever we can with what we have.
For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
Well, in a post on his FB page, Congressman San Nicolas addressed the federal shutdown, saying, quote, "Words cannot express the embarrassment I feel for our government failing to function." Well, the longest federal shutdown in U.S. history continues as the Senate today failed to pass 2 bills to reopen the government. Meantime, many federal employees are struggling through their second payless payday, but many groups here are stepping up to help, such as the Chief Petty Officers Association Marianas chapter, which is hosting a fundraiser for the Coast Guard at this hour at Jimmy D's. It's one of several events for the CPOA that they have organized. The Coast Guard spokesperson says community members have donated money, food, and household supplies such as baby food, diapers, toilet paper, paper towels, and other non-perishables. The Defense Department and the Anderson and Naval Base commissaries have also donated food and gift cards. It's a major plus for the territory. The Guam Customs and Quarantine Agency's Agriculture Canine Unit holds one of the top positions in the nation for items seized at any airport. The Customs Acting Director and the Chief of Customs met with reps from the USDA recently, where they learned that the last fiscal year they had a positive seizure rate of 95.41%. This data indicates 1,021 positive alerts, resulting in about 2,200 pounds of prohibited agricultural products seized at the A.B. Wampat International Airport. Director Ike's Pareto states, quote, "I am glad to see the program is a success, and I commend these officers whose dedication to the unit's mission is reflected in the data. Proficiency in one's job provides excellent service to Guam." The unit was named the agency's Unit of the Year 2 years straight. On Thursday, Joint Region Marianas Commander Rear Admiral Shoshana Chatfield welcomed Governor Lou Leon Guerrero and Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio to the JRM headquarters. Leon Guerrero and Tenorio were briefed on everything from the mission and operations of the command to the progress of the Marine Corps relocation. Following the meeting, the governor said, "As we begin our administration, it is critical that we develop and maintain a strong and mutual partnership with the military on Guam." She adds there are great challenges ahead of us, and I look forward to working with the Joint Region Marianas in ensuring a unified voice on issues important to our island and people. It was quite the sight to see down at Pago Bay this morning. Local biologists and staff at Department of Agriculture releasing a sea turtle back into the ocean. It was rescued from poachers. Here's more. There she goes, back into the water, free. Conservation officers were tipped off about the animal being kept down in Talifofo. The poachers apparently had plans to sell it to be eaten.
Somebody was holding a turtle illegally. So we went down to the location and retrieved it. It was in a swimming pool.
Biologists cared for the turtle these past 9 days.
We work with Underwater World. They are our partners in rehabilitation. So our staff, as well as the conservation officers, brought the turtle to Underwater World to be put under observation to make sure that the turtle was healthy.
Each rescue like this is a win for biologist CJ Kyanan.
This is a little bit of a better story because the turtle was found alive, the turtle was healthy, swimming, it was pooping and eating, so it was very, very active, so it was a good story. But that's not always the case.
Her passion for marine animals goes back to her younger years.
Growing up here on Guam, as you can see behind me, this is what we grow up with, this is what we see every day, and so being able to save and help protect everything out there kind of drives that.
Protection is key for these endangered animals. Authorities say at least 5 people are being held responsible for illegally taking the turtle.
It's always gratifying. It doesn't matter how many times you do this. It's always gratifying to see a turtle swimming away healthy and know that you've protected it from probably certain death.
Samples were taken and the turtle was tagged before being released and given to Conservation Lieutenant Mark Uggan for making sure her name is one to never forget.
You named this turtle.
Yes, I did, in honor of our first female governor.
Mega Huggin.
Yes. The turtle will forever be registered under the program as Lourdes.
Agriculture officials remind the public that any interaction with these creatures will not be tolerated. It's a local and federal offense if you handle it without a permit. If you spot one, call Department of Agriculture immediately. Agriculture has identified the 5 suspects as Juliano Manuel, Texner Luther, CJ Luther, Kedis Paulino, and Isaac Paulino. Well, stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
We value relationships because when we commit,
I love you guys until you're 80, until you're 90, until you're 100, forever.
we are in it for the long run. So you can enjoy the moments that matter. Because when we commit to relationships, we never stop caring. Calvo's Select Care, health care that is always there for you.
The great thing about technology isn't about how big, fast, or clever it is.
It's about delivering connections that empower people to achieve things. Try them for the first time.
Connect with others.
Or even rediscover the world around us. It's your world. Explore it.
Chuck E. Cheese's Guam is not all fun and games. Our pizza is delicious with the freshest toppings, oven-baked to order. Try the fresh salad bar, sandwiches, and don't forget our mouth-watering wings. Come and eat at Chuck E. Cheese's Guam.
Start something new this year when you buy a new Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, or Ram from Cars Plus and Mighty. Like a new Jeep Compass Sport, $175 per paycheck. Or a new Chrysler Pacifica LX, $213 per paycheck. Or save $10,500 on a new Ram 1500. How about a new Jeep Wrangler Sport, only $309 per paycheck. Plus, receive a Cars Plus Shell Value Card with every vehicle purchase. So this year, start something new with a new Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, or Ram. Only at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Welcome back. You'll soon need a real ID to get onto Naval Base Guam, but the effective date is still in question after DHS granted another extension for the island. The Navy had set February 4th as the date it would require a real ID or a valid U.S. passport to access Big Navy, but now it says it's reevaluating. DHS notified Governor Lulian Guerrero that because of the federal government shutdown, it hasn't completed a review of Guam's real ID certification. Guam had an exemption from implementation that was set to expire January 10th. Now, federal agencies can still accept Guam-issued IDs until April 10th. Congress passed the Real ID Act in 2005 at the recommendation of the 9/11 Commission. It sets the minimum standards for state-issued identification and prohibits federal and military agencies from accepting non-compliant IDs. Military-issued IDs already comply. The count is on for Guam's homeless population. Outreach teams began combing the island early Friday morning and will continue into the night. The Guam Homeless Coalition is conducting its yearly point-in-time count to collect data for a strategic plan to homelessness here. Here's Angelina Cruz, the coalition chair.
We use that data to come up with what kinds of services and supports we want to apply for. And then government agencies, if they want to apply for things, so let's say the legislature is choosing to try and fund a homeless shelter, they can call on us for our data. Last year's count identified about 854. The year before was 852, but the year before that was like in the thousands. The numbers have really fluctuated, but from what we've seen last year, of those 854 people identified, almost half of them were below age 18. And so there's a lot of kids out there.
Cruz says there are a variety of reasons for homelessness. Two of the most common causes, mental illness and when families suffer from an economic loss. The Consul General for the FSM acknowledges that many of her fellow citizens have had problems adjusting to new life in Guam. Teresa Saipan says her government needs to do a better job in preparing FAS migrants for the big change in culture. Speaking Thursday before the Rotary Club, she asked local business leaders for their support. Nessa Canto has the story.
They are drawn here for the chance at a better life, says Consul General Teresa Saipan, where the minimum wage, for example, of $8.75 is a huge difference from the $1.50 in her native Yap. But she also says many of her fellow FAS citizens are not prepared for what is a very different culture, which has led to some getting into a disproportionate amount of trouble with the law.
And I'm being completely frank here, it's becoming embarrassing, really, to the point that sometimes when asked where I'm from, I don't want to say I'm from Jefferson. It's a reality that is not going to go away, and it's a reality that is not going to be fixed overnight. Somebody was laughing at me the other day when I told them that I'm not Jesus. I don't perform miracles. That's a really big thing to say, but the truth of the matter is, what we have here occurring here on Guam right now, it's a big, big issue.
Saipan is just a few months into the job, but as a former educator, she believes one of the keys is to educate FSM citizens about living abroad and making that a prerequisite before they leave home.
But I believe in going back to the beginning and trying to identify or address how we can come up with indicators or a system, put a system in place before we stamp our citizens' passports and tell them, okay, go. You're ready to get on board that plane and go.
She says resolving the many challenges of assimilation won't happen overnight, but she wants to lay a foundation, starting with the youth.
But I know that collaboration and seeking the right people to get their support will hopefully influence or make some changes. We are very optimistic. We're a very optimistic nation. We always believe that there's a better tomorrow.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Thanks, Ness. Well, here's regional headlines from KSPN 2 News.
Hafa Guam. Here are the headlines for CNMI. Over 400 students from 14 different schools gathered at the Marianas Resort for the 2019 MTech Tourism Summit. And this year's theme, Marianas Strong, to show the resiliency of the tourism industry and community after Super Typhoon U2. Every year, the Tourism Summit usually is just for members of the My Wave Clubs, which stands for Marianas Youth Welcomes All Visitors Enthusiastically. But this year, the event was opened up to all public school students to show just how much tourism is an important part of our island.
They learn about education, they learn about jobs. The kids are actually getting a tour of all the facilities, the hotel, rooms. They're getting a tour of landscaping, maintenance, kitchen, front desks, and they're even going to go take a look at some of the DFAM's fire truck, Red Cross materials. So they're getting an idea of what happens to a community when a disaster strikes, and how does that disaster affect our people, and what happens to the tourism industry too.
This is the 17th year of the summit and included students from 5th grade all the way to 12th grade.
The best ideas come from the youth. They think about how we can make our islands prettier, how we can make our people friendlier.
I think the overall goal is, again, to increase awareness and to show the kids that, again, like we had said, tourism is everyone's business, and there is always a position for somebody, no matter what level, what role.
It really instills in the kids how important tourism is to the islands. Without it, where would we be, right? It's the #1 economic driver that we have.
One message the event expresses to the students is tourism is everybody's business, where students go to different exhibit stations set up around the resort to see exactly what all goes into the hospitality and tourism industry.
This is very important for the kids because it raises awareness on a lot of different issues that we deal with on the island. It also helps them get into the business of hospitality. And as we all know, hospitality and tourism is everybody's business on this island.
Giving ideas to these students of what they may want to do as a career when they finish school.
I always thought that I would be in the hospitality industry one way or another because I had both of my parents worked in the hospitality industry since 1990. And I just recently took a class in hospitality. It was offered as a partnership with NMTI and PSS. And I see myself working in either front desk or hopefully even human resources if our paths cross.
I learned about the hospitalities, about the American Red Cross, about everything about Typhoon U2 by picking up trash.
We're learning about
tourism.
Yeah, tourism.
What kind of activities have you learned so far?
We learned about the ocean and its pollution.
Yeah, we got to sing a song over there.
To also know how to help our tourists out here on the island, like when they come here, even high-class tourists.
We also learned about who took the pictures over there and like how we're feeling and that we're all feeling the same as a community.
And most importantly, giving the students a hands-on experience. Reporting for KSPN, I'm Ashley McDowell. For more news, visit saipantv.com. For KSPN 2 News, I'm Ashley McDowell.
It's an event that the whole family will enjoy and most importantly learn about our coral reefs and what we can do to protect them. Jonah Goncharfers has more on A Day at the Reef.
2018 was the International Year of the Reef, as well as the Guam Year of the Reef. As part of the festivities and educating the public on the importance of the island's coral reefs, an exhibit was put together in collaboration with the Guam Museum. Vanji Lujan is a museum volunteer and also one of the coordinators for the exhibit entitled Briefly Ours.
This Saturday from 10 to 12 is their family day. So we're inviting all the public to come and experience the exhibit and see how beautiful Guam's reefs are, what they can do to protect Guam's reefs, but also engage with all the technical experts and the community experts on what they can do.
According to Lujan, there will be educational booths, games, opportunities to see the GW Marine Mania puppet show, and several stakeholders will be on site that you can speak to at Ha'an and Familia's A Day at the Reef.
For all the people that come, if you come in and you sign up, you can also get a ticket so you can come back and see it before the museum closes, this exhibit closes. And so in addition to some of the things that we're going to be able to give away, you'll also be able to get a ticket to come back to the museum to take your time and see the exhibit before it closes on February 15th.
You can get a lot of information on how to protect the coral reefs and what the threats are by visiting GuamCoralReef.com. It's where you can also find out more about volunteering for restoration projects.
There's also the Bureau of Statistics and Plans. They are the point of contact for coral reefs. You can contact them. Department of Agriculture, both forestry and Division of Aquatic and Wildlife, as well as Guam EPA. And so anyone there can help you get information if you need it for a research project or you just want to learn more things. Anyone can help you obtain more information on that, as well as the NOAA Coral Reef Program.
On and Familia's A Day at the Reef takes place on Saturday, January 26th from 10 a.m. to noon at the Guam Museum Multipurpose Room. Admission is absolutely free. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Jonah Goncharfers.
Joan adds that the Briefly Ours exhibition has been extended until February 15th, so make sure to check it out. Sports is coming up next, but first, here's a look at your weather forecast this weekend.
It's Micronesia Mall's 30th anniversary, and to celebrate, we are giving away a new Kia Soul LX, a Mazda 3i Sport, the popular Honda Civic LX, and 30 Manila Flyaways during our 30th anniversary Drive-Away Flyaway. Win 3 great cars from Triple J Auto Group, 30 Flyaways from Philippine Airlines, plus thousands of prizes from Burger King and Foot Locker when you play Micronesia Mall's 30th anniversary Drive-Away Flyaway.
MTO, professional janitorial services with a warm hospitality touch. MTO gives that gift year-round. Pressure wash roofs, pressure wash driveways, lawn service, home cleaning, carpet restoration, office cleaning, commercial window cleaning, floor care. When cleaning is in order, MTO has you covered. Call 647-6861 to inquire on how you can receive the maintenance you deserve.
MTO, celebrating 30 years with you, Guam.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. We start the show off tonight with a story from our sports intern, Bella Borja, who caught up with players from the American Samoa U18 national baseball team and members from 5-Star Legacy donating sports equipment to students at Juan M. Guerrero Elementary School. Check it out.
The students at this local elementary school are all hyped up.
I come here to give a lot of advice to kids. I feel really great.
AJ Masanu is a catcher for the American Samoa national baseball team.
Well, I try to put a lot of my time on baseball, but I have a lot of stuff to do, but I put everything in because I love the sport of baseball.
He, along with the rest of the players, are on Guam to compete.
I feel really excited. I'm ready to play and execute.
They showed up to Juan M. Guerrero Elementary School with the 5-Star Legacy Foundation.
Our main focus is helping support education for kids all over the world.
Mark Homer is the founder. They've been giving back to schools in multiple countries for the past decade. His son also plays for the national team.
And so we came together and worked with some local friends here, and they put us together with this elementary school. And so the boys have put together all the packs, and we raised money for it, and the boys on the team really have done most of the work.
From the dugouts to the classroom, these players are definitely doing their part to give back. Giving school supplies, sports equipment, and these much-needed benches, Brent Herring is the team's head coach.
It's been just a tremendous opportunity for us to interact with the kids and to be here. What a cool place.
Here for more than just to compete this week and in the playoffs this weekend for the WBSC Oceania Championships. AJ says that time spent with the kids is time much needed to get them ready for the game.
Like saying in the Bible, giving is the best gift to children, but I feel really great. I feel love.
This team definitely knocking this project out of the park. For KUAM Sports, I'm Bella Borja.
Thanks, Bella. Let's take a look now at your Rent-A-Own Athlete of the Week.
We're here, Rent-A-Own Daddy-Do, for our Athlete of the Week. Today we have GW basketball player Shelby Meeks. Eugene?
Congratulations on behalf of Rent-A-Own. Who would you like to present the check to?
I would like to present the check to Guam Cancer Care.
You played football and wrestled for the Geckos. Did that have a role in you staying in shape, being ready to go when the basketball season tipped off?
Both sports were they were extremely hard. It took time for me to gel in for wrestling because wrestling was one of the sports that, it really taught me, how to keep my composure in everything I do. Football kept me physically active, running and being a running back, taking the ball and making plays.
You scored 17 points against the Father Duenas Friars in your season opener. Talk about how you felt during that game.
I felt very confident that game. You know, I came out there, mindset ready. I wanted to win. After I hit my first couple of shots, it was like I started to feel, I felt kind of on there. I started to take it to them, and yeah.
This year's season is kind of up for grabs. There are a few teams that people are looking out for, but what are some of the goals you set for yourself for the remainder of this year's season?
Like for me, I want to bring something home. That's what I want.
Any teams out there that you yourself or your team's really looking forward to playing?
I really look forward to challenging St. Paul. You know, they're a very challenging team, and want to see what we can do against them.
You have a football teammate on the basketball team with you. How has the team been able to gel around first-year players such as yourself?
You know, like for me, like I'm kind of used to. I'm a very competitive, and like when it comes to the team, we have, like you said, we have Ricky, who I played football with. We have Dylan Trusso. I've known Dylan for a while, and you know, it's like seeing their gameplay. Like I kind of got used to it.
That's it. All right, congratulations. Stay tuned to our next Direct Zone Athlete of the Week.
KUAM Sports Athlete of the Week is brought to you by
Matson is in this community. We've been in this community for decades. We're gonna be in this community for decades to come. Things will get busy, things will get quiet, but we're gonna be here. We're your hometown carrier. And that matters to us.
Reliability is the core of our business. We take pride in ensuring that we arrive in Guam on time as scheduled.
It's our local employees who understand the market, who understand the business, and provide that hard work for you each and every day.
When we hold ourselves to high standards, our customers also hold us to high standards. We establish good business relationships that turn into friendships. That's why it's so important to be here and be trusted by your customers. We want you to trust Matson like your friend, like your family.
Introducing Triple J's Online Shopper, the new, faster, easier way to purchase your next vehicle. Explore hundreds of new and used vehicles in full 360-degree view. Get pre-approved instantly from the comfort of your home or office. Personalize your own finance terms and get top market value on your trade-in in just a few quick, easy steps. Buy with confidence from start to signature, and we'll even go the extra mile to deliver your vehicle to your home or office. Have a question? Our sales team is just a chat away for instant assistance. Click, pick, drive. Complete the entire car buying process with Triple J's Online Shopper and purchase your next vehicle at triplejguam.com today.
Can I just get a right bat?
Now time to take a look at who all is celebrating this week. Here's your Cold Sun Creamery birthday